We are with the man who probably hasn't slept much, if at all, since last night. But that's the kind of night that you can take. You can go with no sleep when you have a win like you had last night, can't you?
Absolutely. But the hair looks good, probably, right?
It always looks good. That's your signature.
Yeah. But it is real. I want the people to know it is real, okay?
This is a different kind of season for you because you knew coming in that the expectations were high, the target was clearly on your back, and so much pressure going into that tournament. You probably felt it more than the kids. To win the game, what does it mean to you? What does it mean to the university?
Well, it's great for Oakland. I mean, it's just to be in this thing 3 times in 7 years, 2 in a row, and the publicity and the national, your name recognition and what it's going to do for our recruiting. It's just, you can't put it in words, what it means. But for these players, with the pressure that was there to play and compete the way they compete, I mean, we had a 20-point lead in all 3 games. I was the one that was worried. I don't think they were worried at all. They were just excited to be playing, and they played just phenomenal.
What does it say about a group of players that can step up to that challenge of answering the bell when not only are you the team that's targeted, but last night you fall behind by a point, and I'm sure you were pretty nervous, and they put together a run where they outscored them 3-1.
Well, we came to the bench after that, and I could tell. I mean, it was, all right, we let them back in the game, no big deal, you know. And that's the way they've been. They have they keep an even keel, and they just play, and they know they're good. And so I was not, you know, at that point I was not worried that we were in any trouble at all. But, you know, before the game I was like, oh, you know, but they never, you know, they just went and played. And they're really good players, you know, an NBA guy in the middle, great guard play. And we've been there, you know. We've played at Breslin. We've played at all those big places all year. And so this was just a game that meant a lot, but we were ready.
You know, and everything that you say, it reeks of experience, and it reeks of you've been on the path before, and there were such huge expectations of people patting your back all year saying how good you were, yet you tempered it a little bit because you knew in your situation that a big loss probably would end the season like that, wouldn't it?
Well, we played one of the top 10 teams in the country, and after the game, we lost by a very close margin. One of their coaches shook my hand and said, "You're a Sweet 16 team." And I said, "We're not even in the tournament. Don't be saying that yet. You know, if we were in your league, we'd be in with the record we have, but we still have to play our way in. So we got to get there before we can even think about it." So we did it, and now we can start dreaming things like that.
You know, I can't help but recall, with all the excitement here last Selection Sunday, and your team exploded, I looked over at you, and you had a little bit of a glaze over your face because you weren't happy with where you were seated. And you got a tough matchup with Pittsburgh. Do you think the team has grown enough in the eyes of the selection committee that you're going to warrant a higher seed and a better matchup in round 1?
I think so, mainly because the win over Tennessee, the Michigan State 1 point, leading by 11 at Illinois late in the game. Purdue, it's a 2-point game with 4 minutes to go, and Purdue's proven to be pretty good. So, you know, I think that we've got respect now. I don't think we're going to jump up to 9 or 10, but hopefully 12, maybe 13 at the worst. And then you've got a chance to win. You know, when you draw Pittsburgh, you know, you're not going to have a whole lot of a chance to win. So hopefully we'll get up to the 12, 13, maybe 11, and we'll get a game that we can win.
When you look at what has been, I don't know if there was a turning point, but maybe the Tennessee game that gave these kids some confidence that they could win on this stage. When you're getting ready for the NCAA tournament, what film do you I don't know if there was a turning point, but maybe the Tennessee game that gave these kids some confidence that they could win on this stage. When you're getting ready for the NCAA tournament, what film higher seed and a better matchup in round 1?
So, mainly because the win over Tennessee, the Michigan State 1 point loss, leading by 11 at Illinois late in the game. Purdue, it's a 2-point game with 4 minutes to go, and Purdue's proven to be pretty good. So, you know, I think that we've got respect now. I don't think we're going to jump up to 9 or 10, but hopefully 12, maybe 13 at the worst. And then you've got a chance to win. You know, when you draw Pittsburgh, you know, you're not going to have a whole lot of a chance to win. So hopefully we'll get up to the 12, 13, maybe 11, and we'll get a game that we can win.
When you look at what has been, I don't know if there was a turning point, but maybe the Tennessee game that gave these kids some confidence that they could win on this stage. When you're getting ready for the NCAA tournament, what film do you pull out to get their confidence up, to make them know that they could be a Butler-type team who could put together a run and help put this Summit League on the map?
Well, I don't think we'll have to take any film out. I think the way we played this weekend, the semifinal game, we were phenomenal. It might have been as good as I've ever had a team play, the South Dakota State win. We put up 110 points, and we just were hitting on all cylinders. They know how good they are. And I don't think I'm going to have to tell them. You know, I think they're excited. They can't wait to find out who we play. And then we'll just have to go play and see what happens.
Let me ask you about the pressure on you. When Benson decides that he wants to come back, there had to be a certain level of excitement, but you also must have understood that, okay, now the expectation is sky high. I guess a two-pronged question. If he hadn't come back, could you have done what you did this year? And when you knew you did have him back, how did that change things for you?
Well, question one of the prong, I don't even want to think about. I'm glad he's back. I don't want to speculate any of that. Question two, I think it was a wise move by him because I do think he'd have gone in the second round early, maybe late first. Now he's definitely a first-round pick. He's going to get guaranteed money, and he's had a phenomenal year. His reputation has grown nationally. He was up for the Naismith Player of the Year, which is the Heisman Trophy of basketball. And, you know, those things would have never happened if he had gone. So it was, the injury to his thumb brought him back, but it was a godsend for him and for Oakland. I mean, let's be realistic, for Oakland, too.
What is it about your coaching style that connects with these kids? Everyone says you're a guy who calls it like you see it. You've always been very blunt and straightforward. I would guess you're like that in practice as well. Do you feel that the players are ultimately going to respond to that best?
Well, that's me, and they know it when we recruit them. They come and see us play. They come to practices before we get them. They know what they're getting. But, you know, from a standpoint, they're going to hear the truth. You know the movie, if you can't handle the truth, you know. So they're going to hear the truth from me, and that's one thing that I really try and do is never lie to a player, never mislead them. They know where they stand. They know what we need from them. And, you know, that's just the style that I was brought up on, and so that's what I've tried to project through my coaching career.
Do you still enjoy it? Do you still enjoy weekends like this last weekend that you just went through, even though you were that team targeted to win?
I have never been, in 33 years in this business, as nervous as I was this weekend. And they weren't nervous at all. They just wanted to play. And I was in the back like this, you know. So, and it was, I think what you're saying, it was just, this is such a good team that if we didn't get a chance to play in the NCAA tournament, I would have really felt like I failed those kids. And I didn't want to feel that way. I wanted those kids a chance to play.
Well, you got a special team. You're a special coach. We're looking forward to being here Sunday when you find out where you go. And, of course, the Oakland Grizzlies, no question about it, can make a significant run in the NCAA tournament this year. Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thanks.